So I'm out here in our compost today, and it's early spring, late winter. We still have frost to come, very likely, but it's definitely been warming up here in North Texas. So I went to check on our compost pile, which we do a type of pile where it is pretty easy going, I'll say that. Sometimes it's cooking, sometimes it's not. Either way, it's producing some awesome stuff. So I came out here, it'd been a couple days since I had turned the pile. We had some good rain during that time, and I'm seeing all these sprouts. So I get curious what's growing out of our compost pile. The chances of it being something we would like to plant, grow, and eat are very high. So I start checking it out. Anyways, we have some really exciting things growing in here. One of which are russet potatoes. I hope I don't damage it by pulling on it like this, but all right, I'm gonna flip this around. Okay, so here's our root ball. And we've got this long, lanky stem and some leaves that was reaching way up to get that sun through our nice and loose compost pile. So there's one of our volunteers. Here, we've either got some kind of squash or possibly loofah. I had bought a loofah from another local farmer, and there were a few seeds left in it. And I do not remember if I composted those seeds or if I still have them inside of my little seed collection. But either way, we'll find out what this is soon enough. We've got 2 or 3 of these, so I've now potted those up. This is likely green onion. It smells amazing. And then here we've got some tiny sprouts coming off of a ton of bell pepper seeds. You can see that bell pepper seed core right here. This little cluster has some mold and such, so I'm not really investing in making that into anything other than more compost. If you can see these tiny blips of purple, this is just a chunk that was in our compost pile. I'll just re-dig it up. Where Dean had cut up some red cabbage to cook, and this little chunk is now growing new sprouts, which is super exciting. I like to do things with as little effort as possible to get the maximum out of it, and then sometimes I just call it lazy gardening, and voila, it's actually amazing what it would have taken me to do all of this time, research, energy, and then hoping that the elements support that. It's incredible what nature does itself, especially when you're just throwing nutrients at it. So we do our very best to only put organic stuff in our compost to avoid any type of pesticides or herbicides trailing into our food. And although that means, we will have a smaller amount of compost than had we put every single item that's compostable in the stash. But I definitely think it's paying off because the nutrient-dense soil we are creating is amazing. It's already producing, and literally without us following the book, So anyway, I just want to encourage anyone out there who's trying to get started, who doesn't know what they're doing, who is somewhat perfectionistic like me and thinks, we gotta do all the research first and have it all perfect and then get started. It's like, honestly, the easiest thing to get going is compost, and it's pretty fun. At first, we just had like this tiny bucket we would bring outside and dump of whatever our kitchen scraps were. Anything from coffee grounds and the filter, tea bags, minus like if there's like a staple or a tag, we always rip those off. Of course, any vegetable or fruit scraps, seeds, stems. Goodness, what else do we stick in this thing? Eggshells. Never eggs, but eggshells we do. And then yard scraps. So, if you've got a bunch of grass you cut, my husband will stick the bag on there. He'll collect it for me, put it back here. And then all that fun stuff from Amazon, you know, cardboard. Although it's kind of a pain to shred up cardboard by hand. So if you have some tool or machine for that, awesome. Otherwise, get your kids involved. Or do what I do, which another lazy gardening tip. Just throw cardboard in your yard and let the weather like wear it down. Rain, mold, all the things. So it can kind of pre-decompose a bit. Then when it's like that, it's a lot easier to rip up, shred up, throw into your pile. Leaves, we use every bit of scrap per se in our yard that we can repurpose. And what's beautiful about that is, one, we're saving money instead of like going to buy mulch. We just collect leaves from our own yard and use that as mulch. I should probably make a different video on that. This is good for now, 6 minutes. All right, thanks for watching.